anybody who does procedures will tell you that if you can get the first slot on the schedule, you're golden, because anybody who starts before you really could just delay your room, and then you're like at their beck and mercy. But if you control the room, you control your own destiny. So I've got control of the room 3 days a week. And so 3 days a week, I start my day with procedures at 7 a.m. and I make rounds usually before that or during procedures. So I run upstairs to the floor and I see my patients. And then during procedures, I teach the surgical residents here at NYU Long Island how to scope. It's one of my things that I do. And I have medical students that rotate with me, and I've got pediatric residents that rotate through with me. And so I've got a whole bunch of people in the room with me. And after I finish procedures and I finish my rounds, I then head over to the office where I see patients. And then I hang out with you guys at night.
Oh, wow.
That
And
sounds like a busy day.
when you say you do procedures 3 days a week, are you saying you do like procedures from 7 till noon, 3 days a week, or?
Not 7 to noon. So twice a week, I do them from 7 to 11. And then actually 1 day a week, I do it's a short procedure day. I do it from 7 to 9.
Okay.
And then I serve on certain committees. I vice chair the IRB here. So I have that. We usually do that through a Zoom meeting, and I do that on Thursday mornings, 1 to 2 times a month.
And your procedures are mostly colonoscopies and endoscopies, or do you do more?
So in line with most pediatricians, in the adult world, they do mostly colonoscopies because everybody over the age of 45 is supposed to have a screening colon. And if you haven't had one yet, you really should.
A lot of fun.
George, what are you doing later?
Actually, funny story. I had to go get mine, of course, late. We did a couples colonoscopy at my friend's office on the last day before the city closed for COVID on that Saturday.
A couple's colonoscopy.
Yeah, my wife.
Sound like a couple's massage? How does that work?
Whatever.
Did you do the clean out? You did the clean out together?
That was a lot of fun.
I hope
The kids have to go through that, probably, right?
everybody's got to go through it. We use generally Miralax and Gatorade, so it's not as bad.
Yeah.
And the difference is in pediatrics, we're not really looking for cancer the same way they are in the adult world. So those little teeny polyps that they're looking for in the adult world, we're not usually doing that. We're mostly looking for either juvenile polyps, which tend to be big, or we're looking for Crohn's disease or colitis. And so the cleanouts generally are not as great as they are in the adult world.
So what's your thought? Why not do Cologuard or do the blood test that's coming out instead of the colonoscopy other than GI guidance?
There is nothing better than visualizing the tissue.
There you go.
Herb, I should have asked you what you're doing later.
All these gizmos and gadgets they're okay as a screen, but you need a real thing.
At the end of the day, there's nothing better than taking an actual look. And you should know the risk of the amount of colon cancer that we're seeing is going up and up. There was just a report about, I have it somewhere here on my desk, about the rising incidence that the amount of colorectal cancer has tripled among children and teens from 1999, 2020 here.
Wow. That's diet related.
And this was published in Gastroenterology in July 24. Those are some drastic numbers. And we recently had a 17-year-old that we diagnosed with rectal cancer, which was really scary.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Do
That
you
one
think,
I've never seen.
you think
Yeah.
the colon cancer is related to the diet?
Certainly, I think, listen, I don't deal a lot with colon cancer, but certainly westernization of the diet, the amount of animal protein that we eat has been associated with an increased colorectal risks, along with other things. Westernization of diet has resulted certainly in more inflammatory bowel disease. And we see that now with new populations that we had never seen IBD in before. We're starting to see the Indian population is the fastest growing population with IBD in the world. And we had never seen that before. And it really has to do with we believe, westernization of the diet.
You think it's protein and not the processed diet? All these processed
But certainly the process, but colon cancer, a lot of it has to do with the amount of meat we eat, a lot of animal product.
And then when you say animals, does like salmon and fish, does that count?
I think it's more the beef protein, but I don't want to misspeak. It's not really my specialty,
Well, very interesting.
but I love a good steak.
Yeah, me too. You got to die of something.
Hey, better to go with a smile on your face. You know what I'm saying? I start my day off with a piece of cake every morning.